Well, if anybody wants to mine legally, then a number of things happen. One, my ministry's agents in the Minerals Commission would vet the application. At the level of the community, the District Assembly is involved as well. In other words, we bring in the community in terms of what we call social acceptability.
Okay.
And for 21 days, a notice of the application to mine in the area proposed would be pasted for all to see and to comment on. After 21 days, the Minister Chief Executive or the District Assembly would issue a notice that everything is fine, no objection. Then there's a need for an environmental permit, so the environmental ministry is also involved. Then the water ministry is involved. There's a permit that water would not be affected negatively. But because all that you've seen in the shots are illegal activities, none of these, if you like, safeguards have been met. And this is a problem. So we have a relationship in legal mining activities with the water ministry, with the environment ministry. But when it's illegal, then obviously it's on the other side. And so all of us, the water, the environmental, we are all concerned about these activities.
Okay.
It's cross-cutting, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, your predecessors have also attempted to fight Galamsay head-on. You are responsible for the ministry now. You are the man in charge now. Do you have... I mean, the plans that you've mentioned are very critical to the subject matter. But what is your immediate plan, apart from the tours, the sensitization, and then the bill that you've put through to Parliament? What is your immediate, long-term plan?
Well, soon you'll see notices at airports, at ports of entry, against sensitizing those coming in, Chinese and so on. Because I've heard some Chinese say that they are lured into the country, they are not told the truth.
Lured by Ghanaians?
Lured by Ghanaians. They don't tell the truth about the illegality of their actions and activities they come and involve themselves in this country regarding mining. So to address that, we're going to have notices in Chinese and English and so on. It's coming up very soon. We'll call you to cover when we're ready. Two, regarding the livelihood creation, which we think is critical, and we are going to speed that up and do more sensitization in that regard and begin pilots and make sure that we have a critical number of people accept to be enrolled, quote, and to give up these activities publicly, tell their friends, their fellows that this is what they're doing, and then reaping the benefits, and then we can showcase those benefits. Three, what are we really going to be doing in terms of livelihood? I've said it already. Farming, provide land, but also blocks of land, mining land, will be put together, made available. We'll get them, the Galamsay communities, to form cooperatives, register, then they can have access to the block of land and then mine legally.
So you're not going to stop them from mining completely then?
We want to mainstream these activities. We deem it necessary to mainstream the activities. If they have a bite of the cake and they like the taste, fine, but they should do it legally. It must be the consent of the government, the agencies involved, and the government can get a tax out of it, because they do destroy the environment when they mine. Whoever mines, mining is extractives, so you destroy the environment to get the gold. You got to cover the environment, restore the landscape. So as we do this, we make sure that all this is done. So we provide the land, we organize them, provide alternative livelihoods away from mining, if that's what you prefer. So all these are possibilities, and we want them all line up. So what we got to do now is make sure we get a critical group to accept and to begin.
Now back to the Chinese and other foreign nationals. I mean, last year we saw how a lot of them were paraded at the immigration service, and majority of them were deported. And you have said that a lot of them are coming back into the country.
And you saw two.
I saw two
during that tour that we arrested.
Yeah. Will they be deported or will they be prosecuted here in Ghana?
Those
Which one is more discouraging for the business of Galamsay?
I like
to
that.
Deport them or to prosecute them here?
Well, first of all, when we do the law, hopefully we seize all the equipment so it will head them in their pockets, so to speak. One. Two, concerning their influx into the country, Those two were arrested, for example. One had a passport with a visa in it. But we're going to check and see whether it's a false visa or a valid visa. The other didn't have a passport.
So how did he get in here?
Well, he claims his passport is somewhere.
Okay.
So now we're having that investigated. But the long and short of it all is that we hope that if we deport these people when we arrest them, we can show that. And you maybe heard about it, that some come in and people facilitate their entry with illegal valid, but sometimes invalid because it's forged.
Yeah.
You must have heard about that, surely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we'll verify all that and deport them. I think the deportation hurts.
The deportation hurts more than
it really hurts.
Prosecuting them here.
Well, prosecute and deport.
And deport, okay.
It hurts. It hurts a lot.
Yeah, okay. Fortunately, you're a lawyer as well, a seasoned lawyer. For communities that have been affected by Galamsay, can one individual decide to take, for instance, the Mining Commission on, or any other institution that they feel is directly responsible for the repercussions of Galamsay in their community?
Well, you saw how vociferous they were in the community.
Yeah.
They think it's a good thing. They think it's acceptable. And that would be the challenge, because whoever brings this up would face the brunt of the community's...
But it is possible?
Theoretically.
Okay.
Theoretically. But I would say it wouldn't go very far, because we will show them as a mining ministry and as agencies that are in charge of mining what efforts we've been making to prevent Galamsay from continuing, because it is going on all the time. And so I think it's not going to be a very successful attempt.
Okay. And are you going to embark on more tours?
Absolutely. And I hope TV3 would partner with us.
Definitely.
As you did a couple of days ago. We were very impressed by the way the reporter covered the event, except that he kept showing the back of my head. Maybe next time he can show my face.
Yeah, well,
instead.
because we're using it for impact and we knew you were coming in this morning, we decided to limit
Okay.
your...
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good coverage, and I think we're going to do a lot more of that. And we saw that you have TVs in the communities.
Yeah.
So hopefully, when we do these tours and when we show how Galamsay is so negative, and we keep sensitizing and making statements, we can begin to make a change.
Okay. Were you shocked when you went into these communities? I mean, because for a long time you were nowhere associated with the mining industry. So were you surprised? I mean, I'm sure you've seen them a lot on TV and read about them in the papers.
TV, but it's different when you're there physically. It does hit you. And the depth of the pits that they have dug, and the, if you like, sophistication of the operation, held by the Chinese influx, held by the Chinese equipment. It's sophisticated. And that's why we got to hit at the equipment, in my opinion. If we remove the equipment, the bare hands cannot get very far. Mind you, we're not against mining per se. I have to keep repeating this. But it must be done within the legal framework. Because small-scale mining accounts for about 34% of the gold output. That's significant, you know. But it includes the Galamsay aspect as well. That's what concerns me. If it's all legal, we can get our taxes out of it, because the tax paid by the mining companies is about 38%. It's a chunk of the tax, 27, 38% sometimes, of the taxes we earn as a country. So it's significant. And a lot of it is under the table. We don't get at it at all due to these illegal activities. And you find that there are people who ride around on motorcycles who want some money, and they go and buy the gold. So those guys it's a chain. Galamsay activity goes on, people are ready to buy the gold, and then they speed off, and then they find a way through our borders, and they're gone.
Hopefully it becomes unattractive.
We will make it unattractive.
You will?
We will.
Are you giving yourself any timelines?
As soon as the Amendment Act comes out, we will begin
How soon are you expecting it?
We've done the second reading in Parliament about 3 weeks ago, and hopefully the third reading should come pretty soon. And I can say that before the close of the year, end of the year, we should be able to pass the act, the new act, the bill.
We've seen other bills that have been passed, and its implementation has become a problem. A typical example is the one for the physically challenged. Implementation has become very daunting. Would you say that the implementation of your bill that will soon be passed will encounter similar challenges, or you have a roadmap for implementation already?
It's something that everybody accepts should happen. It's something that everybody thinks is a good idea because the devastation of the countryside is wrong and no one accepts it. The only people who think it's good are those who are the kingpins in these operations. And I would, however, say that we must count a great deal on the integrity of our security forces to implement this. So we may have to be careful who actually is sent out as a task force member to implement, so that we don't have compromises as we do our work.
And these campaigns, how often are they arrested? Are we able to get to them?
You heard on the shot, the person said,
the boss is somewhere.
He's somewhere.
And they will never give the name out or the location out.
He's somewhere. It's very, very daunting, to use your expression you used a minute ago. It's difficult. You can't get this. They are faceless people. They are there, they provide the funds, they bring the equipment. So that's why I keep saying we've got to hurt them by getting the equipment away from them. Some equipment is $50,000, $100,000. It's a lot of money. If you take it away from someone, you can really affect the person's operations, because they need to provide funds constantly to pay all these workmen, laborers, if you like, so they can extract the gold, and the kingpin receives the gold and then sells it. So we can cripple these operations and make it unprofitable.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Thank you. Thank you.
Who is Minister of Lands, Forestry and Mines, and he's been talking to us about Galamsay operations and the devastating effects on certain communities. And that tour will still be ongoing, and of course TV3 will keep bringing you updates.